Hello, I'm Rebecca Vaughn. It's Saturday, January 6th. Here's a look at the top stories from your trusted local news source.
We are focused on supporting those who have been affected and focusing on healing.
Friday, Perry school leaders spoke out about Thursday's fatal school shooting and their efforts to heal an entire community. State crime investigators have identified the middle school student killed after 17-year-old Dylan Butler opened fire inside his high school, seriously injuring the school's principal and 6 other people. The Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation says 6th grader 11-year-old Amir Jalif died from gunshot wounds after being shot 3 times by Butler. Perry High School principal Dan Marburger remains in critical condition, suffering from several gunshot wounds. Investigators say he put himself in harm's way to protect his students from Butler, who police say later died from a self-inflicted wound.
We are deeply appreciative of law enforcement, the first responders from Perry, and the hundreds of others that came from all across the state. They had a rapid and highly coordinated manner in which they responded, and it really contributed to this not being a worse incident than what it was.
In all, 3 staff members and 4 students were injured. 2 of those students remain hospitalized. Friday, the Perry Community School District held a news conference addressing the shooting. School and community leaders in Perry say they're focused on providing space and resources for healing and restoring hope to everyone impacted by the shooting. Middle and elementary school students may return to school next Friday, but all return dates are subject to change as leaders continue to talk with students and law enforcement about the best path forward. A Des Moines Trauma Center says it had a plan in place that was immediately used after the school shooting. The first of 3 patients arrived at Methodist Medical Center in Des Moines about an hour after the shooting. A doctor at the center says the aftermath of the shooting is taking a toll on him and his staff, even though they are trained to treat the victims.
So it's different how you prepare for that compared to car accident that happened on the interstate. Clearly, we have a problem. It's a complex problem that is going to require a lot of time and effort on how to solve or identify the opportunities on how to improve or how to do better.
2 of the 3 patients are still receiving care at the hospital. And a private school in Sioux City says some of its staff will be armed on campus starting next week. In a letter to parents, the superintendent in Siouxland Christian School wrote that staff were selected and specially trained to go directly to the threat in an event of an active shooter. The school says its response will allow teachers and students to get to safe positions and provide an active response until law enforcement arrive. And in Your Voice, Your Vote coverage, former President Trump campaigned in Iowa and quickly responded to President Biden's comments from yesterday.
Biden's record is an unbroken streak of weakness, incompetence, corruption, and failure. Other than that, he's doing quite well, isn't he, don't you? That's a hell of a list. That's a hell of a list, right? That's why Crooked Joe is staging his pathetic fear-mongering campaign event in Pennsylvania today.
Trump spoke in Sioux Center in northwest Iowa. During his speech, he urged people to get out and caucus on January 15th. He says Iowans shouldn't sit back and relax just because his poll numbers show a large lead. The other major Republican challengers are trying to rally supporters to the Iowa caucuses, now 9 days away. Ron DeSantis was in Cedar Falls, Decorah, and Cumming. He told one crowd that he'd be tougher on government spending, criticizing former President Trump for agreeing to budgets negotiated with Democrats. Candidate Vivek Ramaswamy spoke at a town hall Friday in Muscatine, Waverly, and Ames. He says the U.S. should negotiate a quick end to the war in Ukraine by keeping Ukraine from joining NATO and giving eastern parts of the country to Russia. And candidate Nikki Haley spoke at the Des Moines Rotary Club. She told the audience Republicans need to elect a new generational leader who leaves the negativity and baggage behind. And one of the 2 domes at Taft Middle School in Cedar Rapids is back open. The district closed both domes at Taft and Harding in October. An inspection found deterioration, which made the domes structurally unsafe. Those domes house each school's gym, cafeteria, and arts classrooms. That forced those functions to cram into other parts of the building or use temporary classrooms. Repairs at the first dome at Taft wrapped up during winter break. Repairs at the first Harding Dome are expected to be done in the next week or 2. All 4 domes should be fixed and back open by the end of February. Thanks for watching. Tune in to TV9 and KCRG.com for the latest updates and breaking news.